Hey Kelly, join us to...
What the hell was that?
What is that? Run! Run!
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh god! Run away!
Hey Kelly, are wild camping fears really that scary?
In this video, we're going to dive into the most common fears that wild campers face when they're out in the wilderness, eh?
Let's have a look, shall we?
So what is with all this phenomena about the wild camping fears and being busted and people creeping up on you in the middle of the night?
It seems to be like a big phase of it on the internet at the moment, doesn't it? Like, oh, let's make any video we can and scare everyone out of the way, right?
It just seems a little bit outrageous. After 10 years we've both been at this now, and even when I was doing it on my own, I mean, I've camped in some scary places, I can tell you now, like especially outside London, Blackheath. That was probably one of my most scariest nights because there was people around me for the whole night and I had to sleep with my knife really close by on my chest. I think maybe when I first started out, I had an experience where there were lanterns in a woodland I was staying in. It was weird, but it didn't stop me from going to sleep. I just got up early and packed out and disappeared the next morning. And I got badger bashed.
You got badger bashed?
Badger bashed. One night, again, I was on my own in my tent, and it was a very low camo tent. I think it's called a gear top.
Yeah, the gear top.
And I was in that in a woodland, and I woke as I heard some thundering on the floor, just in time for it to smash into the side of me. I didn't know what it was at first. It frightened the life out of me, and then I could hear the feet and the leaf matter moving away. It was running away. The thing decided to have a second run at it. So it turned around and I could hear it coming back towards me. I just shouted, made a bit of a bang on the floor. The thing ran away. I went back to sleep. No bother.
This is one of the spots we spent about 3 months at, and just over that way somewhere, there's a farmer's field and there's a platform, for instance. So we thought we were being shot at, but we weren't, were we?
No, but the gunshots were scarily close, shall we say?
Yeah, like, really scary. I mean, this patch here, a lot of deadfalls happened now, but yeah, 3 months in this patch, and literally like where the dog is now, is the brook and then the farmer's field. You just got to make sure that you're keeping an eye on things like platforms and local movement, haven't you?
Yeah, well, if you know that they're shooting somewhere, if you're aware of that, then you know that they've got an arc of fire that they'll always follow, so just make sure you're out of their arc. Yeah,
and there's a lot of cover here, so you know the odd shotgun pellet and stuff like that isn't coming through here, is it?
No.
You know,
although something did try to come through here whilst we were here. The dog, I've never known the dog to be scared of anything really, but a massive stag. It was very big because the sound was coming from above our tent.
Yeah.
So we knew it was big, and it had come to the edge of this rhododendron here, and it was looming on the other side of it, and it was making some really disturbing gruffs, shall we say. I mean, the dog looked like he wanted to poop his pants. But again, you know, it went away. We had a good night's sleep. It was all cool.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose our gripe here is you know, you keep posting all these videos and just to get the clicks. We've been at this over 10 years, haven't we?
Well, even if it is, I mean, maybe there is some truth to it in that people are not used to being out in the woods at night. And, okay, we live it, so every night, you know, pretty much every night we're out if we're not staying in someone's back garden.
We're very tuned into it all as well, aren't we?
Yeah, but let's just say we don't find a dark woodland very scary at all. If anything, we enjoy it because we know that no one else is around at that sort of time, so it helps you relax. But I just think maybe even if it's not clickbait and it is just a serious event, I would be inclined to think it's probably more in the imagination than in reality.
Yeah, I mean, the night time comes and you do, the first couple of nights, you go, oh, what was that noise? What was that noise? Or something like that, you know, especially like recently we've been in Peter's garden. We come out and you go, oh, and it's just about getting tuned back in, isn't it?
What about
Vespasian's camp. Yeah, we were shot at there.
We banged pans and thankfully we hadn't set up camp. We was just in there making our dinner. But they were so close, we could hear the gun cocking.
Yeah.
So we banged the pans, we shouted, we blew a whistle.
High vis up in the air and everything.
They
wasn't
weren't
it?
stopping, so we had a funny feeling they might have been poachers.
Because landowners aren't going to shoot at you. They're not allowed to anymore. They used to with buckshot and stuff like that. But
the landowner's going to be more inclined to just come over and tell you to get out of the way, you know, get off
yeah,
the land.
but it's English heritage, so there shouldn't really be people poaching or, you know, farmers shooting in there or anything, should
No, there shouldn't have been. But again, we just stopped our cooking. We took our pot with our food in it, still hot, and then we just moved to a place where it was a bit more out of the way of them. We didn't go far, actually.
We had a really nice view as well for a change.
Yeah, they done us a favour, actually, because we accidentally came across a really nice view. It was awesome. So
it's like this big lake-looking thing in Amesbury. I think.
Well, I
it's
think
called.
it was a lake that had flooded or something. It burst its bank, so it was quite pretty. All the
It was in February.
big geese and swans and all sorts to look at.
Yeah, and the deer. It was all going across. Lovely.
It was
You know,
beautiful.
so thank you, poachers, whoever you were. So we've just come out of in there, and you can see there's a lot of tree cover, but here there's not much tree cover. But then when you look that way, there's even more tree cover. You know, so that common misconception, you're being shot at, you're not. You're really not. They don't care. They don't want to shoot at us, do they? They don't want to shoot at you. They're just trying to get their game. You know, get the game on. Tara's gone on ahead just to make sure that we're not going to get shot at. Send her in. And we've got, so that there, you can see the fence line just in there. And that's for his land, you know. And obviously you've got a brook down there. Tara's checking it all out.
Oh yeah, I just can't quite make his platform out, but it's just through there, isn't it? His platform is just through there somewhere.
I think so. So the platform somewhere is through there, but I think Tara's gone ahead to try and get a better view. Oh, you're down there.
Yeah, you can see the steps for it.
You see the steps for it here, can you?
Yeah, just through that bush there. See the little step? Oh yeah, you can just make it out there.
All right, let's see.
Through the rhododendron.
There you go. You can see his ladder in there, up against the side of the tree. So we know that when he's coming up into that way, he's shooting that way, and that's all thick. So he's going to be shooting that way, back on himself, and I can't even see where we were now. And that rhododendron and clump there is in where we were. So we're actually behind him, weren't we? We were behind him the whole way.
So, you know, clearly if you are going to camp in an area where you know that there's shooting, I mean, we know that down in this area of woodland there is going to be shooting. There always is round this way, isn't there?
Yeah.
So we'll just recce the area of where we want to camp so that we can find the different platforms, and then we will work out which is the best place to stay out of the arc of fire.
Yeah,
you know?
because you'll get given an arc of fire. This is where you can shoot from and to. You cannot shoot behind you. Don't go shooting up in the air. Don't go shooting. Well, obviously, if you're on a platform, you're going to be shooting down. But then hunters and poachers, stuff like that, when they're walking through a woodland, don't they? They're not shooting at the floor when they're at ground level. They're shooting up.
And when in doubt of where people are shooting, if you can't find the platforms, I would say stay near a road or a footpath. Just not on top of it, obviously, no one wants that. If you're staying in that direction where there's a footpath not far away or there's a road not far away, the chances are if there's shooting going on, they're not going to be shooting in those directions.
No. I mean, we actually stayed there one night in that patch, didn't we?
Yeah.
And there was some gunshots going off. And we thought, do you know what? It'll be okay. We got up early in the morning, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we moved. Luckily we did, because farmer came out the next morning, high vis, trying to look for us. Yeah, you're not going to find us, mate.
We saw him, he didn't see us.
Yeah.
We was already packed down at that point anyway.
I mean, the thing is, if you look at a hedge like that, for instance, you're not seeing anything in there.
No.
I mean, there you go, babe, go and try it out. Bit of camouflage and concealment, isn't it? I mean, Tara's, just go a foot in or something.
Yeah.
There you go, she's already gone. You know, so farmer's going to come down through here. Now I'm going to come right up close. I'll do it slow for you guys so we can, you know, stalk. If you see Tara in this, you should be able to see her just about. But I mean, there she is, right? and I'm right in the hedge. Now, if it's a farmer walking through, he's going to scoot the skirt of his land, and you're not going to be able to see us. There you go. Right.
Yay.
But you're not going to be looking in those places. Wild campers want places like this, nice, pretty, open sky. All you widow makers.
Good views is what wild campers go for.
Yeah.
See, where we don't really class ourselves as wild campers,
No.
because we would say a lot of the reason wild campers get busted in the first place, even if they do get busted, I'll question that one as well, is because a lot of the time you're having a big fire, you've been heard, soaring.
You got bloody video lights on in the night.
Yeah, big head torches illuminating yourselves. I mean,
Who's there? Who's there? I'm so scared, but I'm going to put a light on.
that one I find absolutely hilarious. The ones that we've watched where they're absolutely terrified in their tent, the way of dealing with their fear is to turn a light on.
Screw up your night vision.
Yeah, not only are you screwing up your night vision, but then you are voicing out loud about how terrified you are. Now, if I was somebody that was trying to intimidate somebody in a woodland, I'd think, great, rock on. I'm having the desired effect.
Well, look at them, babe. Just go and piss them around all night.
It's just not the way to deal with it.
No.
I would say that even if you did feel like somebody was like that, I would just personally ignore it and go to sleep, right? To see, if you're going to knock and ask me to move, then knock and ask me to move, if you like, or shout and ask me to move. But chances are, is in the middle of the night, even if you're a landowner, I'm going to sit there and negotiate with you so that I can go first thing in the morning. Who the hell's going to pack up in the middle of the night?
No one is. Not really. You know, you might have your car parked 10 yards that way, but are
if
you
you're
really?
on foot like us, I mean, it's just not happening. You know,
No.
they'll have to wait until morning. And providing you're not intimidating for a landowner, you're friendly. I mean, they can call the police if they want, but the police are going to say to them, have they refused to leave? If they say, well, yeah, they're saying they're not going until the morning, the police ain't coming out for anything like that.
No.
You know, it's
So-
a civil matter.
What are you scared of? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, what are you scared
I mean, we
of?
had a comment on our long stay video with our doorbells. Oh, that's no offence to you, but that sounds like you're living in fear or
Paranoia.
paranoia. And you go, well, okay, take note of that video. You know, the
reason-
doorbells.
The reason all that's done in the first place is so that we don't have to feel paranoid.
Yeah.
So the only noises we need to listen out for is the dog barking or the doorbell snapping.
Yeah.
Any twigs or branches falling, we pretty much ignore because
We know what it is.
we
We've
know
spent.
it's either an animal or, you know, the chances of it being a person busting us is very slim because of the precautions we put in place.
I mean, there was that time in Scotland, wasn't there? We were staying in a place in Scotland, and we heard something coming through the woods, and we didn't know what it was, but it wasn't a human. It was moving too fast, and
We should move in the bush, it's starting to rain.
Ah, yeah.
So now we're out of the rain.
Shit. But yeah, this thing was coming through the woods, whatever it was. So I thought I'd get out in my underwear, take the dog with me, and I got a knife and I got a spear. We still didn't know what it was, but you know,
To this day, you don't know what it was.
no, we still stayed there for another 8 weeks. You know, why are we gonna run off?
The other thing is as well, another question that I have is when you're wild camping, if you've gone wild camping, the chances are is you've got a knife with you. I mean, it'd be pretty daft to go wild camping without a knife, right?
Or a hatchet, or
Or something. I mean, surely you're the one with the weaponry. So if someone's coming up and causing you a problem,
yeah,
the
like
knives, right?
you got the knives, the axes, the hatchets, all that sort of stuff. Do you think that, you know, the standard dog walker or little kids that are going to come and mess around with you out in the woods, they're going to be carrying axes and knives and saws and all sorts, isn't it?
To give you an idea of why I think we don't experience any of this stuff that we see, that we're coming across a lot of it at the moment, this stuff, this all fear stuff. I think the reason we don't experience any of that is because we don't act like wild campers. We very rare will we have an open fire. That's a rarity that we do that.
Yeah.
And it's only in specific situations with permission or something like that.
Or if it's heavily raining or there's a big fog.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, but even then, it's not a campfire. That's
No,
just
no,
our
that's
little
just to
stick
cook.
stove. Yeah, it's our stick stove that we use. But an actual campfire,
Yeah.
we don't really tend to bother.
What's the
with.
point? Taking the view rather than the flames.
Not only that, we're quite cautionary when it gets dark. So
Yeah.
we don't, for example, even using our can stove, we don't like doing that when it's dark because, again, the light flicker will attract attention. We don't tend to use lights, and the light that we use in our tent will often put inside a sock or something like that to dull the brightness of the light inside the tent. So it's just enough light for us to see, but from outside the tent, you wouldn't notice it at all.
Not only that, is a lot of people are told that if you see a flame in a hedge or in the bush or anything like that, contact the local authority, because there could be a bushfire, there could be a forest fire.
Not to mention, if you're owning the land, if that's your land that you own and you see a flickering flame in your woodland, you are going to want to go and check that out.
And why are these guys chopping down trees on someone's private land?
Yeah.
You know, it's not open access land, it's not recreational, it's somebody's private land.
Yeah, and we've seen quite a bit of that, the whole soaring down of... I mean, there's plenty of deadfall in a woodland. We've not really... I mean, we've come across it a couple of times, but I mean, never in a private woodland.
No,
never.
No, I mean, the woodland we're in now, as you've just seen, the farmer's fence line's there. There's a little bit up there that isn't registered land. This is registered, but it's part of a national park. So, you know, it's still open access or recreational ground, or land, as it were, isn't it?
Again, we've never cut any trees down in here.
No. I mean, rhododendron.
It's not necessary.
No, I mean, you can literally snap little bits off like that for a little fire to cook with, can't you?
Yeah, but the thing I think is a lot of these wild campers, you know, they're going out and they want the big campfire. They want the great view. We're not interested in the great view and the big fire. We're just interested in sleeping for free. So we're more interested in tucking ourselves away in a bush or something. I mean, Christ, we can stay places for months at a time just because we're so cautionary.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make it boring, and I think because we're not in this for the romanticism of it.
No.
You know?
No.
It's just not
why we do it. Yeah, but don't get me wrong, it is romantic.
Of course it is.
It can be very romantic, and it's not about the destination, it is the journey. It always has been, hasn't it?
Do you know what? Wherever we go, we have more fun going there and going back or whatever, or the actual travel from one place to another. The destination's always a little bit underwhelming.
Yeah.
You know, you get there, go, oh. It's
like the Stonehenge, wasn't it?
Stonehenge, yeah. Oh my dear.
Stonehenge was a bit crap. It was tiny.
Mod hadn't seen it before.
No, I'd never seen it.
And I had once before, and so I said to him, you know, do be prepared. It's not, don't, he said, don't ruin it for me. Well, he got there, he was like, geez, I could have built that myself.
Well, I mean, why is it so small? I just couldn't understand it. But no, I mean, I think if you're going to watch those sorts of channels, you know, well, I'm not poo-pooing the people, or I think it's more, stop scaring everyone. You know?
I mean, the more people that can get out and enjoy the outdoors, the better. And I don't see, I mean, personally, if we had, not that we've ever had anything that scary anyway, but I wouldn't want to portray that to people and put them off, because that's like a 1 in a billion event. Like, you really, we've been at it for 10 years and we live this way. We're not weekending it.
No.
And if we're living this way and telling you that we've really had very little experience of weird things like that, and the weird things that we have had, well, we've just talked you through them.
Yeah.
It's a mere handful.
And that's a handful over 10 plus years. Literally a handful of bad-ish situations. They're not bad.
And I would say it's definitely how you respond to the situation than the situation itself.
Yeah.
If you let something scare you and freak you out like that, then I would say it's probably some work that you need to do with yourself.
Yeah, some internal work.
Yeah, you know, just try and relax a little bit. People ain't out to... I know there are murderers and rapists and weird people in the world.
And most of them are getting early release from prison, aren't they?
But to be honest, unless you're in a woodland that's bordering on a town or a city, I would say you really don't need to worry about things like that. Just get out of the way of people.
Yeah, stop with your romanticised views and your...
Yeah,
you know.
If you don't want to get busted in the middle of the night, don't do that huge campfire. Don't walk around with illumination on your head.
Just stay low profile.
Yeah.
And go from there, you know, and you will have a better time.
And do you know what? You'll be able to spend longer out than just a couple of nights, because you can get away weeks at a time if you do it right.
Yeah, and you get to see the wildlife, because the wildlife will come back in.
The longer you're in a spot, the more the wildlife get comfortable with you being there. And we have had deer sleeping around our tent. That's how comfortable they got, and that's with the dog in there.
We didn't have a camera, sadly.
Well, we weren't even videoing
No.
at that time. It
But we had
was-
the door open. The dog could see the deer could see the dog, and they just led down and went to sleep. All together.
the dog had a bad experience once.
Oh yeah, watch out for that. He had a,
We were sando. Suddenly, the dogs yelped and took off out of the, it was in a tent where we had the porch that he slept in, and he took off out of the porch. And we were like, what happened? But he was tied on, so we could only get so far, and he twanged himself, you know. We're like, what's going on? When we checked him, he had a bite on his ear, and it was just the right shape for a badger.
yep.
We think that a badger had come up and bit his ear in his sleep because he got really offended.
Oh,
by
he got
badgers.
really gnarled about it, didn't
He
he?
didn't like badgers for a long time after that. Anytime he came over a badger set, he was getting really
Yeah.
shirty about it.
Down in Billingshurst, wasn't it? We stayed down there near Balls Cross. That was so funny. The huge badger set down there, absolutely lovely, wasn't it? But yeah, he had a bee in his bonnet, or a badger in his ear. It's like a bad pub joke, isn't it?
So we've all had equally, I mean, we've all had experiences with things like this. I just think like you can turn it into something it's not
Yeah,
and make everyone scared to do such a thing, or
Yeah.
laugh at it, treat it for what it is, you know. I mean, it's all part of the fun.
Stop
right?
trying-
the bumps
yeah.
in the night, it's all part of the fun.
yeah. Just stop trying to put people off and make people scared. We want more people outdoors. Like get our right to roam and all that lot back again, isn't it?
Yeah, too many people are stuck in four walls all the time, getting depressed, and you know, and a lot of people are scared about staying out in the woods on their own at night.
Yeah.
You know, it is a thing. It's something that you're not used to, and when you've got those videos out there, if it's something that you was thinking of doing and you're coming across that kind of material, that's definitely going to be enough to put you off.
Yeah, it's going to deter you. It's going to push you away. You're going to think, oh, I need to, you know, bare arms and all this. Like, you really don't have to. You know, we're a society bred on fear as well, aren't we? And
Yeah.
and it's not nice. We get it in the news every day. We get it on Google every day. Now we're getting it on YouTube every
And
day.
you know
from
what? People are running away to the woods for the peace, for the neutrality,
tranquility.
the tranquility, and
Yeah.
all that. No, to turn that into a fear-mongering zone, I think it's just not fair.
no,
It's not fair on those that are looking for the escapism, right?
no, you know. But I mean, it's like we stay in places like this. You know, you don't have the fancy views. You know, none of that lot.
No, but you know what you do get? You get lots of little birds coming in the mornings and in the evenings because
Yeah.
they like the shrub like this. It's good cover for them. So especially in the evenings when they're all coming in to roost, you'll get loads of little robins and blue tits and
Yeah.
all sorts of little things coming in to nest around you. It's awesome. And then of course you wake up to them all singing around you in the morning. There's
Yeah.
more than a good view to be enjoyed, let's just say.
Yeah. That one. Tara's just had a really scary experience. I dropped.
Yeah, it was a really nasty one. So, surely the rest of you have got some funny stories to share, you know, outside of the fear-mongering. It would be awesome for you to leave a comment below and see,
Yeah.
let us know what sort of experiences you've had that have been a bit peculiar.
Weird,
but
funny, creepy, whatever. You know?
let's just laugh at ourselves, right? That's the point of this.
Yeah,
We're sort
Yeah.
of just laughing it off.
yeah. You know, but also get outside, get out and camp more.
Yeah,
You know,
enjoy it.
don't be put off by these dodgy videos and stuff. They might be scared. You might have a bit more of a kahuna than, you know, some people, and, you know,
Yeah.
be able to stomach a little crack in the woods and, you know, some twigs snapping and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, get out there, enjoy it. Weather's only getting colder, it's getting better, less people around.
Yes. Winter
know.
is definitely preferred for us.
Oh yeah,
It's much quieter, like Mod's just said. Food lasts a lot longer as
A
well.
lot longer,
so
yeah.
we get to eat better in the winter.
yeah. Yeah, none of those braps and stuff. So Cully, you know, make sure you just get outdoors, enjoy it, stop being scared, you know,
Make memories,
make memories, yeah,
share
definitely,
stories.
most definitely. It's the best way, you know, and it has been proven. Once you come into a forest environment, the effects after you've left that environment, 3 days, just one day in the woods, It
And that's
has
not the fear that lasts for 3
no.
days.
That's the good fresh air. That's the abundance of wildlife, sounds, visual stimuli. You know, everything.
Great ambience.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. So please like
Subscribe.
and all that hype.
Happy
hopping.
hopping.